So my cassette player recently died where it wouldn't actually read a cassette when I put it in. It would just search up and down and then just spit it out. Right here I'm showing exactly what it did. And here's how it's supposed to work. So I went ahead and took apart the dash and removed the radio to try to take it apart and figure out what was wrong with it. There are 4 screws holding on the faceplate of the radio, and then there are just plastic tabs which clip it onto the front. You can use a flathead screwdriver to pry up those plastic tabs once you've removed these 4 screws. And then before you take off the faceplate, you also want to just take off the volume knob. It just pulls right off. I'll show that shortly. So there's the volume knob. So right there you can see just that one little connector that connects the 2 circuit boards. Next, I'm going to remove the top panel, which has all of the Chrysler information on it. This isn't anywhere near the cassette player, but because of the way this is put together like a wild puzzle, you have to take this off first. Everything in this video is done in the most efficient way that you can take apart the radio to get to the cassette player, so every step shown is going to be necessary. Next, I'm flipping it over to remove the bottom panel. This is going to involve several screws and the side circuit board where the antenna attaches. So you're going to start with these 2 on the front. Then you're going to turn it sideways and you're just going to do these top left and right. But this metal piece doesn't actually need to come off, just those 2 screws. Then turn it around and get this one in the middle. And then you can't forget when you go to take this off that these 2 screws right here that are kind of in the middle have to be taken off, or else the circuit board won't be able to lift up. The last 2 you'll need to take off are where the antenna goes. It's just this top one and the bottom one only, not the middle one. And after that, you can just pull that side circuit board off. There's just going to be one little 4-pin connector that's super tiny, or maybe that's more pins. Anyway, one super tiny connector, you just take that off. Now we're ready to take off the bottom panel to access the cassette player. You just need to be aware of the ribbon connector on the front left side. You have to disconnect that first before you lift the piece off. And then there's going to be 2 more regular connectors on the back. So here's the cassette player. You can already see the broken belt popping out right there. And to get this cassette player open to where you can replace that belt, just take off these 4 screws. It's super easy. From there, you can just flip this piece over, and there you see the culprit. Now what I'm showing here is the playhead, which is back in between these two brass bullet-looking shapes. I believe that since the belt was not connected, it wasn't turning all of the things inside, which made the playhead actually move over and meet the cassette, thereby acknowledging that there was actually a cassette there. Here I'm just showing how I laid everything out. I always keep the screws for each piece with that piece just so that nothing can get lost. So I ordered replacement belts off Amazon for about $7, and they came for in a range of 40 millimeters to 135 millimeters. Now, I was hoping that this was going to be measured in diameter, but unfortunately they are measured in fold length, which is typical for these cassette drive belts. And the fold length of the original Chrysler one is 207 millimeters, which is completely non-standard, way larger. So what I did is I just took the biggest one, the 135 millimeter, and just stretched it on, and that's worked just fine for me so far. So from there, everything is just reassembly. It's just putting together everything you just took apart. So it should be pretty easy. And most of this is going to be in 4x speed, but then the parts where there are some plugs, I'll usually stop and show you those. One little note on using the wrong sized drive belt, especially using one that's smaller, is that it's going to be tighter and therefore add more friction to the spinning. And for playing an actual cassette, that's probably going to lead to it playing slower just due to that extra friction. And so if you use the wrong size belt, that could be an issue. A simple solution to this is to just get a piece of rubber off of Amazon with the right thickness, in this case 1 millimeter, and then just cut your own belt to length. If it's something like this, which is weird because it's not made standard. So for me, it doesn't matter because I'm using the Bluetooth adapter, so how fast it spins has no bearing on how the sound plays through. But just wanted to put that in there in case anyone is trying to play actual cassettes, you will want to use the proper sized belt. So this repair only costs about $7 and takes just a few minutes if you know what you're doing. And if you don't, then now it's right here and you can follow along. And now it works again.
One of my kids in it.